Joe, many congratulations. You are heading to Berlin, an epic night here in Newcastle. I know you've lost for the evening, but right now, how are you feeling?
Yeah. Obviously, it was all on one game, and it was that was all that mattered really. I struggled a little bit in the second game, just to not darts wise, just to get up for the game because the job was done after the first game really. But yeah, I think I'm more than justifying my spot in the Premier League, and I think no one can argue with that now. Not that I care if anyone did argue, but it's nice to shut a few people up, and I'm in the playoffs now, and it's one of those. I think form goes out the window a little bit because it's all on the night, and I think whoever plays best on the night, I know it's cliche, but whoever plays best on the night has got the best chance of winning.
Were you feeling the pressure before the game?
Yeah, it's really strange. I was speaking to obviously people close to me, and I rarely get nervous now playing games. I was nervous. Obviously, I should be nervous. It's a massive game, but it's probably the best I've felt going into a game. Probably whole Premier League. Whereas there's been other weeks that have not meant as much as tonight has, and I've been a bit edgy, for no apparent reason. So to play, I don't think I played great, but the finishing was. If you can finish like that, you give yourself a chance in any game. So to finish like that under that amount of pressure, it does a world of good for my confidence.
On that finishing, that 105, was that the nutshell of the game? Because Peter Wright left 36 after 9. Yeah. Pressure was on your throw for probably the first time in the game.
Yeah. I think that was the only time that he even threatened my throw. I was comfortable the majority of the game on my throw. Threatened a couple of times on his, but it was one of those games. It was always going to be nip and tuck. It was always going to be edgy. It was never going to be 105 plays, 106. It was never going to be like that. It's a massive game, and to come out the other side of it as a victor and to be in Berlin, I couldn't ask for much more.
Between now and Berlin, the schedule is obviously busy and lots on. You're going to take some time to rest up, because I know that for years and years you said I want the Premier League, but you've actually said I know how these boys feel now. It is time. So is it rest key?
Yeah, definitely. I'll be the first to admit I was wrong. I didn't used to think there was lazy, but I just used to think, well, what's the reason for missing it? And I'll be the first to admit I'm absolutely knackered. I've loved being in the Premier League. I've loved every minute of it, regardless of tonight's result. I've loved every minute, and it's just so constant. It's just Monday night and Tuesday at home. People think it's a big glamorous life, and it really isn't. I'm so thankful to be in it, and obviously I've done well in it this year. So everything's aiming towards next year now to make sure that I'm back in it next year, because I think it'll be a little bit different, because I know exactly what to expect next year. Whereas this year I think the Europeans have hindered it a little bit, because it's been sort of Premier League, European, I think 5 on the spin, and I think that's what's difficult, getting up early in the mornings and stuff, and I'm just knackered. I'm just absolutely knackered.
That first TV title, now you're in the playoffs for the Premier League. Yep. Do you feel that you've now belong among the elite of the sport?
Yeah, I think I'm really pleased with how I've won games this year, because it's tough to say, because people say all about B games, C games, all this stuff, and I think there's been no in between with me this year. I've always been half decent or terrible, but I seem to have found a way to win. I think in Rotterdam I wasn't great, but I just found a way to win, and I think I've shown myself that I've got the gritty side as well, which I never knew that I had. Until you start doing it in TV tournaments, you don't really know that you've got it. You can do it in ball 13 in Barnes and Metrodome, and it's no one sees. But to prove you can do it on TV, grind results when it's not going your way. I think I've done that in the Premier League, and it's given me a different perspective on my game, because I know that I've got that side as well now, where I never knew that I had it.
Joe, congratulations, and see you in Berlin.
Nice one, cheers, fella.
Joe, what's the preparation going to be like between now and Berlin? Do you kind of wish it was next week, because you're on this roll, I suppose now?
No, if I'm honest, I'm happy to have a couple of weeks off. It's been a long Premier League. We've been 16 weeks constant, and obviously a few Europeans and stuff, and a few midweek Pro Tours. It's been really full on, so I'm looking forward to the time off, and I probably won't pick a dart up for the next probably week or so, just to have some time with my family. I've not seen much of them. I think I've seen Johnny more than I have my own wife, so I've started calling him love and everything. So, but no, I'm happy with the time off. If I'm honest, if it was next week, I think I would be maybe a little bit underprepared. So, I think the fact that I've got a couple of weeks off, I'll be more than ready, and make sure that I'm really ready for that night.
You're going to be seeing Johnny again in the semi-finals as well.
Yeah. Well, me and Johnny are great friends, and if I was to lose at any point, I'd rather it be to Johnny. He's he's a cracking guy, and he's a big family man like myself. So it's all on the night. Tonight was a bit of a funny game for both of us. There wasn't really much on it, and it was, if you win, great. If not, don't worry about it. The job was done in the first game, but I think I beat Johnny a couple of big games this year, so he knows that I can play, and I know that he can play. So both bring his A game up. It should be a cracking night.
He obviously won the Masters and went on to win this in his debut. You have the chance to do the same. The belief must really be there that you can do that.
Yeah, but the belief's always been there. That's one of the things that's never been in doubt. It's a lot of people can doubt you. Anyone, it could be 112 in the world. If you think you're going to be world champion, good on you. If you've got that belief, then that's great. You're halfway there. I've always had the belief, and I think I've always had the ability. I think my attitude's been lacking probably a little bit over the last few years. Not the last few years, like the last couple of years, but like previously, I think I should have been at this point a long time ago. But I'm here now, so we'll see what we can do.
Do you feel that your game and your persona is really well suited to this Premier League? You seem to have settled really well from the first few weeks.
Yeah, I think I've always thought that I'm made for the Premier League. It's without being disrespectful to a couple, other players. There's players that are cracking players, but they're boring. The great players, they're boring. So I think I bring a little bit something different to the Premier League, and I've got a bit of personality about me, and I think that's shone through. And obviously, getting to the playoffs, I've justified my spot.